My name is Father Stephen Langridge. I'm parish priest here in the parish of St. Elizabeth of Portugal in Richmond upon Thames. I think Eucharistic adoration for young people is important because in many ways it gives them an opportunity to step back from technology, from the pressures of social media, but also it doesn't just liberate them, it gives them the chance to be drawn out of themselves into a relationship with God. And that's what we tend to see in the parish. We find that a lot of people in their school, they have mindfulness classes and opportunities for introspection, but really it doesn't go much beyond that. And I always think of St. Augustine, who said that he prayed that, Lord, may I know myself in order to know you. And what adoration offers young people is a chance to come back to themselves without distractions, but then leads them into a relationship with the Lord.
It really is one of the closest encounters you can have with him, because, I mean, he's right there in front of you in the monsters, shining upon you with all his glory and light and joy.
At the beginning, when we start taking them on retreats, we do a 24-hour prayer room, which is adoration for 24 hours. They have to sign up through the night, so waking themselves up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to sit with the Lord for an hour in the middle of the night, incredibly sleep deprived. And at first, I think they do it because their friends want to do it. And then over time, I see that they're signing up by themselves and because they value that one-to-one time with Jesus, those precious moments when there is no other distraction, you're in the middle of the night, and it also requires an element of sacrifice on your part. So just last week we were having testimonies with our third years, and one girl in particular said at the beginning she didn't really get it, she didn't understand adoration, but now it's one of her favorite parts of the retreat is to be with Jesus, because the talks are great and the music's lovely, but ultimately, what is the thing that's going to carry with them for the rest of their lives? It's their relationship with Jesus, and they find that in the Blessed Sacrament.
Just always counting on him, trusting him with everything. Every moment in life must be taken with his guidance, going hand in hand with him.
I think the other really important thing about adoration is that it doesn't matter where you begin. With our young people, some come and they're believers already, some have a knowledge that Jesus is there waiting for them in the Blessed Sacrament, and others come and perhaps their ideas are a little bit confused, but equally they're drawn out of themselves into a journey that's a journey of communion with the Lord. And I think that's why it's so effective as a means of evangelizing young people. One of the things that we do in the parish is that we offer young people, offer teenagers the chance to go on a weekend retreat. And I'll ask them when they come back what they like most about it. And again and again and again, they say adoration. So their experience of adoration is very different from what they might think or what we might think their experience is going to be. But when they experience that silence, that stillness, that presence of the Lord, and when they're drawn out of themselves, it has a profound impact upon them.
What I love most about Eucharistic adoration is how close I am to God. He's right there in front of me and I get to be my true self. I get to express all of my feelings, all of my emotions, and God isn't there to judge me. So I can say whatever I want and he will be there to listen to me and everything I have to say, all of my worries, my issues, and it really puts that weight off my shoulders and helps me throughout my life.
I think openly discussing your belief in the power of adoration at home is going to be such a key part, and also modeling yourself going frequently to adoration and bringing them with you. Even if it's for 5 minutes, the Lord can do wonders in 5 minutes. So I would say encourage them to come with you. Maybe don't force them to stay too long, but just allow them that space and that time.
In the Gospels, there are some Greeks and they go to Philip and they say, we want to see Jesus. And that meeting of the Lord is the beginning of a change in one's life, because when you meet Christ, you reevaluate everything. You recognize that you're loved and that you're lovable, and you're drawn into a relationship with him that's going to set you up for the rest of your life.
I think, honestly, it's just spending time with God, because, I mean, it's the closest you can get to God, apart from, obviously, the Eucharist at Mass. It's just spending time with God, having those heartfelt conversations. It's having him there for you, I think, really when you most need him. And that comes to me in Eucharistic adoration.
Yeah, one girl actually said that they've started doing morning prayer together every morning as a family, whereas they'd never prayed before. And that was really as a result of the faith of the young person, rather than the parents evangelizing the kids. What I'm finding is that these young people have such an open curiosity about Christianity now, and particularly about like the divine mystery. We see that so obviously in adoration, is that we encounter mystery. And I think young people, they kind of grasp it in a way I've never seen before. And they're evangelizing their parents now, and that's just amazing.
I think we live in a world where young people are given messages continuously, and they experience it as a lot of pressure. And really what they need is to hear that they're loved. I often think of parents who work so hard to provide things for their children, and I find myself saying to parents, they don't need the things, what they need is you. They need you to be at home, they need to be assured that they're loved for who they are, not because of what they can achieve at school or any other consideration. Young people need to know that they're loved, that they're lovable, and that's when they learn then how to love in return.
When I go to adoration, the first thing I do is just sit in silence and thank the Lord for the day, because I get to be here. There's so many people who don't get to do this, and it's an incredible privilege and a joy to be here with Jesus and spend this time with him. And honestly, I'd say you don't really have to do much. It's more just sitting there and letting his grace shine upon you. And yeah, sit there. It helps so much with getting closer to Jesus and building up that relationship with him.
Blessed Carlo Acutis has had a big impact on our young community here. They find in him such an example of normality and holiness, someone who liked playing video games and was on his computer a lot, but also sought the Lord in the Eucharist every day. And I was telling some primary school children at the weekend about his life, and they just looked at me in like awe and wonder as I was telling them this story. It was so beautiful.
One of the things I say to young people quite often is that Jesus gave us the Eucharist at the Last Supper, and that he has effectively waited in our tabernacles for 2,000 years for them to come to him. And all he wants is for them to be present to him, to open their hearts to him, to talk to him as they would talk to their best friend. What are their hopes for the future? What are their fears? What are their struggles? What's life like at home? Who's their friendship group? Who might they invite into a relationship with the Lord? Just to talk to Jesus using their own words in the way that they would talk to their best friend, because that's what they're doing. He is their best friend, and that's what they can discover.
It is quite surprising how a short moment like that can enhance your relationship, like exponentially.
It's really helped me get closer to him because I've been able to communicate with him more freely and openly, and it just encourages my prayer more with him right there in front of me, and yeah, I just love it.
Ultimately, adoration isn't entertainment, it's encounter, and it's encounter with Jesus, and therefore it's the best thing we can ever give to them.
It is the year of hope, the Jubilee year of hope. I was always struck by something Pope Benedict said about hope. He said it's the virtue by which the future is brought into the present. We can think of salvation as something that awaits us in the future, but through the virtue of hope, it becomes a present reality. And that's what we experience in adoration, that when we come before the Lord in the Blessed Sacrament, then salvation takes hold of us. And it transforms us from within. So it lives out that virtue of hope. The virtue of hope is expressed in a particular way in prayer, because when we pray, we're manifesting the fact that we trust in God. And so hope and prayer are very much linked together. We have the virtue of faith, we have the virtue of charity. The virtue of hope is expressed when we pray.